There is nothing more comforting or a better gift to give than a homemade pie. I'm Tess, and I will show you how to make a homemade blackberry pie from start to finish. Stay tuned. My garden is just loaded with blackberries, so let's make a pie. You can use this recipe for any berry pie like raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, or elderberries. This recipe calls for 5 to 6 cups of fresh berries. I picked, rinsed, and dried the blackberries. In a separate bowl I have 3/4 cups of sugar, and this really takes the tartness out of the berries and brings out the good flavor. 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, and a sprinkle of cinnamon, and this is optional, but I think it really adds a nice hint to any berry pie. Giving that a good mix, and then adding in with my blackberries. First, I'm squeezing in about a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice and tossing in with the berries. Giving that a gentle stir to get all the berries coated, and then pouring into my 9-inch pie crust. You're going to need 2 pie crusts for this recipe. I will leave my recipe for my homemade pie crust below this video. The key is to keep everything very cold while making the dough and up to the time of putting the pie together. I usually make my pie crust the day before and then take it out of the refrigerator about 20 minutes before rolling. If you are decorating the pie top, you may want to cut out your dough pattern and refrigerate the pieces before decorating to keep them nice and cold. Keeping the dough cold will help keep the crust nice and flaky. For some more richness to the pie, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of small cubed cold butter to the top. You can use a full crust top or any lattice work or decoration. To help glue the top to the bottom, you can use a brushing of milk, cream, or an egg wash, and use the same wash to brush the entire top before baking. This will help the crust get a nice golden brown. This is what my top looks like, and there are some broken pieces in there and some mistakes, but it's all good. You do the best you can and make it your own. Before baking, you could also sprinkle a little raw sugar over the top for a little more sweetness and texture. This blackberry pie is going into a preheated 425-degree Fahrenheit oven for 20 minutes, and then I'm turning my temperature down to 400 degrees and baking for another 20 to 30 minutes. It's a good idea to set your kitchen timer as a reminder. You want to place the pie in the center oven rack so it cooks evenly. Make sure you put the pie on a foil or parchment-lined pan so if anything bubbles over, it will not mess up your oven. While it is baking, if you notice the outer edges of the crust is getting too brown for your liking, you can place a foil ring around the edge to prevent burning. I don't have to tell you how good my kitchen smells. There are only 2 kinds of pie that my family likes, hot or cold. The pie is piping hot, so I'm letting it cool to room temperature, and it will firm up as it cools. You can see that my edges got a little brown, but that's okay with us. It smells so good, and we are ready to dig in. I've had my blackberry bushes for about 15 years, and they rarely disappoint. I've made pies, cobblers, tarts, breads, ice cream, jams, barbecue sauce, and probably lots more that I can't even think of. And our favorite way to eat a slice of homemade blackberry pie is with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. Any kind of homemade berry pie is a welcoming treat in the summertime. I hope you give this blackberry pie recipe a try and enjoy. If you like this video recipe, please hit the like and subscribe button. Remember to hit the bell next to the subscribe to make sure that you get my future video recipes. You can also find me on Facebook and at my website. Feel free to share this recipe and my channel with your friends and family. And until next time, much love!